We'll now call the September 12th Caribou City Council meeting to order. And first item on the agenda is public input. Anyone that would like to speak about any items on the agenda or anything else concerning the city, please come to the microphone and state your name and go ahead.
Hi, my name's Carol Cam. I'm a resident of Caribou, and I am presenting today concerns that was brought to my attention. Actually read an article that was written by Arthur Horney, Chief Police, and I did email all of you, and Tim, I apologize, I do have a copy of it. Yours came back.
Okay.
Wrong email.
I'll give you my email.
So anyway, he started with a letter that he had concerns about the conditions of the police department and different things like tiles that were falling, exposed wires, and also the fact that it wasn't very clean, and the conditions were not up to par. And so I kind of wanted to find out for myself if this was, just some smoke being blown or if it was real. So I did go to the police department, and I did get a tour. I didn't get to go into the jail cells because there were two prisoners at the time, but I did see, that what was stated was truth. It was the floors were dirty and a lot of clutter. They don't have enough room to place anything storage-wise. So I'm thinking, where can we put all this stuff? And I know there's got to be a place where they can put storage or store things. And also with the kitchenette that they had, it was very cramped, and they had computers in there. And I guess the layout, and I just feel that they've outgrown the area, but also the conditions. Like, I don't know if they have a cleaning staff, a regular cleaning staff. I'd like to see if that would be a possibility. Get somebody in there and clean on a weekly basis at least, just to keep it in good condition. But my major point here is I'd like to see if a possibility of relocating the police department. They've outgrown their facility. And I know there's been talks of possibly putting them together with the police department. I've heard that has been attempted several times with no results. And I have gone and looked and found some different ways that possibly this can be done, either through the USDA Rural Development. They have a community facilities direct loan and grant programs. There's also, I found under a Space Saver, how to get funding for capital projects like under municipal bonds and grants. And there's other things there for police departments, and it seems like there's also a lot for the fire department. They seem to have more funding. So when I, looked around and talked to several people, I do know that there's Caribou Department, or Caribou City owns the main military authority building. That's huge. I don't know if that would be an option to put the two together or have a police department put there. But I guess my request is to see if something can be looked at for them, so they could have a better facility, a clean facility, and one that's functional, and so that they're able to do their job correctly. I also know that there was $3.4 million received last year through the Maine State retirement fund that they've gotten, and the funds I know were placed in a 5-year CD, which I think is great. I mean, that's good utilizations of funds, but I'm thinking, that could be some money utilized to do something for the police department and the fire department combined. And I did copy things. I don't know if you need to look at anything, but I can hand them to you.
If you have something, I don't know about I don't know how many copies you have, but,
I have just the one.
all right, well,
One of
then
each.
I would suggest you give it to this gentleman right here, and he'll maybe arrange that we can get a copy.
And did bring a copy of the email to you if you want it. in closing, I guess basically, you know, just would like to know, I'm presenting this, I'm requesting this, something to be done for them, I'm advocating for them. It's just something that was put on my heart when I saw it. I said, something's gotta be done, somebody's gotta say something and do something, so that's why I'm here. Totally out of my comfort zone, but doing it. And, just like to know if you did, I know I got response back from the email that the building, committee was looking into it. I don't know if there was anything that was just found out, or if anything was done from that.
I guess,
I can speak to that.
Councillor Martin?
I went to see the chief, and the chief is realistic in that there isn't much money. That's what he says. He said it'd be nice to, there's no money. And he didn't seem that overly concerned. But we do have a capital improvement fund for the municipal building that we used just about all of it to remodel up here, but that's an ongoing fund. So how much do we put it in there every year?
Between 30 and 50,000.
So I figured when budget time comes and we're looking at 30 to 50,000, maybe we can do something. But there is a new building in the 10-year plan, but was it supposed to be fire, police, and municipal? Or what's the plan?
Was talked about public safety at one time, yeah.
Yeah. So that's in the long range, but I don't see a new building happening. I mean, I'm sure we can improve things down there, but
I just feel like they've outgrown the area. I mean, it's so cramped down there, and a couple of things that were brought up and I put in the email was the fact that they have the victims of domestic abuse that they bring them in, and it's not a very pleasant environment for them to come in and to be also already under trauma, and they have to deal with the clutter and the mess, as well as I was told that at one point prisoners had requested some cleaning supplies because they couldn't stand the filth in their cell. And I feel that something also has to be done with the cleaning part of that. I don't know if you have somebody that goes in there. I know of someone that does, Billy does, but he obviously is not able to maintain it the way it needs to be. So I'm wondering if there's any solution to get somebody in there to clean this on a weekly basis, so the floors aren't dirty, and also repairs. I know you said, you know, there's no more money now, but they've got $3.4 million in the bank that, you know, if you did some kind of a loan or whatever, that could be used as collateral. It matures in 4 years, and then that could help pay off the loans, or whatever you need to use to do something for the police department. Apparently this has been addressed several times with no results, and now we're talking about another 10-year plan. Just wondering, you know, is this gonna be put on the back burner again? I don't plan on going away. I'm gonna try to help these guys out so that they can get a decent place.
well, the first I heard of it was from that editorial, and then I spoke to the chief. And
Did you
I'll-
look at it, look at the area? And
I didn't, no.
I would strongly
I
encourage you.
went to the chief didn't seem to be overly concerned, and I'll deal with this chief, except, I mean, I don't need to deal with somebody from Nevada telling us what we need to do here. But it needs to be clean, that's the manager.
And it's not someone from just Nevada. I went in there myself and looked at it.
That's
and so did
fine,
other
that's
people.
fine, but it's not,
Yeah.
as a counselor, I mean, the only reason I went to speak to the chief is because I'm the head of this committee. But as a counselor, the only people we can really talk to are, right there, that guy. So we can address to the management to check it out, and I'm sure they will, and see if they can address it.
So are we gonna also address the cleanliness of it and our?
Well, that I think we could do on present funds, yes. But I mean, I'm just speaking for me.
But again, that,
Right, I just
as he
like-
says, that has to go through the city manager. We can't go down there and say, here, do this and clean that and change this and, so,
So do we have funding to hire someone that can go in there and clean, or is that an issue?
We have a janitorial budget in the police department. I've not heard any complaints from the police chief about the
I'm
funds.
sure we can do something from that standpoint.
I know the police chief hasn't complained, but I know the officers are complaining.
Have they complained to the police chief?
I don't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
ask
mean,
them.
just a question. I don't
assume
know
they
either.
were- I assume they were saying something to him, but I don't know that for sure.
I don't know that either. But again, you know, Mr. Police can determine that when
I guess,
he looks into it, so.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you have to work in those conditions, I think you'd have a problem too. I think something needs to be done as far as that goes.
I don't think there's any question. I mean, I've paid a few visits to the police department, and I certainly think there's room for improvement as well. I don't necessarily agree with the overcrowded statement. I mean, we only have, at any one time, there shouldn't really be more than about 2 officers in there, anywhere, because they're on patrol and so on. It's not like we've got 10 people that are trying to work inside the police department at once, and, but yeah, as far as the organization, and again, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff down there. I don't know how much of it is really required to be there, or whether some of it could be put in another storage somewhere.
That would help.
To me, it kind of looks like, you know, maybe we have some hoarders down there too, I'm not sure. But, you know, there seems to be an awful lot of stuff jammed in some of those rooms, and definitely need to organize it, sort it out, and, yeah, it definitely could be a lot cleaner than what it is, so.
So could I receive an email of notification of progress being done, or,
I'd
Yeah,
suggest you
what-
come back down, and look at it again.
really? I will. I
Well,
will
sure, I
definitely keep
mean-
an eye on it.
I mean, I'm sure Mr. Blease, once this has moved along a little bit, can notify you, but,
I also, I got a call from former Chief Gorney as well about that, and I had seen it before. And I think what's happened is it's become overwhelming, and after a while, when you have so much stuff that needs to go into storage and there's no place to put it, that it just kind of like, okay, I'm not touching this or something like that. But in fact, one of the things that we do once a year is to evaluate the city manager and give him our list of goals. And actually, that's what I have right here is for the police department. A new building isn't gonna spring up overnight.
Oh, no, definitely.
But I think if we could get somebody to get everything that needs to go into storage,
Yes.
put it in storage, whether it's at the highway department or the library or the city office that might have a spare room, get that out of there and put that away, and then get somebody like Service Master in there
Yes.
to clean. And I have talked to Chief Gahagan about this, and he was gonna make a list of what, they need and things. But in the meantime, get it cleaned up, get it maybe painted or freshened up or whatever, but bring it, Billy can do so much, but you need professional people to go in there. I mean, if I were a police officer, I wouldn't wanna go in and clean the jail cell after, things like that. But I think that if we can get it cleaned and get the stuff shoveled out of there and get it in some kind of order, they're gonna have plenty of room to do what they need to do, maybe get some fresh paint and freshen up a little bit. I know the chief is gonna look into some estimates and stuff for things that have to be done, but if we could do that right away, maybe.
Exactly.
And get it
That's-
done and get that brought back, I agree, I think that needs to be done. Then hopefully, once it is done, they'll keep it that way. If something needs to go into storage, take it over there. Don't pile it up until it gets out of hand again. But it is, like I said, I do have something in the goals here to hand to Austin to hopefully something like that, because it should be. I've seen it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have my email, so I'd
Yeah.
like an update as to what decision is made.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any councilors, anything else? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else have public input tonight? All right. Any conflicts of interest from any of the city council regarding any of the agenda items?
Number 8.
Number 8. Okay. Consider authorizing minutes of the following meetings: August the 8th, 2016 City Council Workshop and August the 8th, 2016 City Council Meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Consent agenda, department reports, library board appointment, and the VALIC plan administrator.
Move the slate.
Any questions or comments on any of the consent agenda? All in favor? Approved. Liquor license application, A&W Properties, public hearing we need for this, Austin, correct?
Correct.
A&W, I wish it really was an A&W. We'll now call the public hearing to order for the liquor license application. Anyone from the public have any comments or anything on the application? Anyone from council have any? Another short public hearing. Public hearing's now closed. Now we're at 17, opened at 6:16, closed 6:17.
Mayor, I can move that we provide a liquor license and special amusement permit to A&W Properties.
Second.
All those in favor? Approved. GA ordinance, public hearing for that as well. We'll now declare the hearing for general assistant open at 6:18. Any questions or comments on that? Manager, please.
It's the standard changes that we do once a year.
Yes. Anyone from the audience? Anyone from council? Ready for this? Closed at 6:18 and a half.
Move to accept the changes to the GA ordinance.
Second?
All those in favor? Approved. Ordinance to sell city-owned property. You have to have a public hearing on this one too, do we not?
Correct.
Okay. Public hearing now open for the ordinance to sell city-owned properties. Any comments on selling city-owned properties? Any questions from council? Were you watching the clock, Jane?
Was that 6:18? Or was 19?
6:18 and a half, it would have been,
Oh, okay.
to 6:19 and a half.
Motion to sell properties.
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous, passed. Number 8, Airport Hangar Project. Manager, please.
As the council's aware, we did not receive the grant from the MBRC to help with the cost of putting up a hangar at the airport. That's unfortunate since there is strong demand for the hangar space in Caribou and the surrounding areas. However, we would like to continue to move forward with the hangar project in 2017. We'd be able to do this by utilizing cooperative agreements with Old Town and Dexter. These cooperative agreements would allow us to use $150,000 in FAA funds from each of these communities, in addition to the approximately $280,000 in FAA funds that we have available for the project in our own FAA funds. The FAA funds are held by the FAA for the respective community until they have a project to utilize the funds. By entering into these cooperative agreements, Caribou would be able to utilize their FAA funds, Old Town and Dexter, and the FAA funds that we otherwise would have been eligible to use in 2017 and 2018 would go back to those two communities. All of the accounting for these funds is done by the FAA. It's no money held by the city at all. So the city share of the project will be about $30,000. We do have this money on hand in the airport reserve to complete the project. With these funds, we'd be able to construct a 6-bay T-hanger, likely be able to construct a 6-bay T-hanger that would allow for the city to collect revenue from renting out that hangar space. We could rent out the hangar space for approximately $150 per spot per month. If we rent out 5 spots all year round, which seems likely based upon the demand, we would be able to generate $7,500 in revenue for the city, and that's what we put aside every year for the capital equipment at the airport, or capital improvements at the airport. We'd be taking another step forward in reducing the reliance of the airport on property taxes. We have a list of 6 aircraft owners that are interested in hangar space today. The hailstorm that went through the last month produced significant damage to 5 aircraft parked on the ramp. This has caused significant repair costs and loss of values to the airplanes, and it highlights the need for more hangar space and the desire from the aircraft owners to have hangar space. So tonight we're recommending the council approve and authorize the city manager to execute the cooperative agreements and move forward with the hangar project in 2017. I'm happy to answer any questions the council might have.
Did that question that I asked you follow up on criteria, said the ADO must prepare the agreement for the transfer of entitlements?
Right, that's what the agreements are here.
Okay, and they're the ones that are initiating it, right? Okay, thank you.
So there's no loopholes in this whereby the FFA may
No.
stop the grants for something here and
Nope.
No,
another year or the second year and,
no, these are all the entitlement funds that we get annually.
all right. So what is the entire cost of the project?
The estimated cost would be about $600,000. So if we end up leaning less of the FAA share, we would take less from one of the 2 cooperative agreements that we'd have.
So this would basically use up all of our funds, or close to all of them.
It
in the
would use
reserve
up all of
account,
our funds, correct?
And for the next 2 years afterwards, correct?
Correct.
and for the
yeah.
next 2 years.
Right.
Is there any other
The next,
thoughts of things that might have to be done there in the next 2 years that,
no, the only thing on the CIP for the next 2 years is the hangar project. We've got a fuel terminal station that's about 2021 tentatively. But that's the next project after the hangar, so we're fine in utilizing the funds this way.
The only change from the original one, it was that there was no cost to the city initially, correct? So
Right
this-
from the MBRC.
you know,
Are these typical, these trade-offs? Is that done often, or?
It happens. I guess I don't know how frequently. I've known of a couple of airports in the area that have, or across the state that have done it over the last few years.
so when would this would be completed next year, 2017?
That would be the plan. Yep.
And
And then depending on the calendar,
the
yeah, and then depending on. the
spots would be rented to the people
Depends on who manages.
by the end of next summer, whatever?
I would say October just to be conservative on a timeline.
On board.
And are they leased on a yearly basis? Is that the normal thing, or are they just by the month and you can be in and gone, or?
It depends upon the aircraft owners. If we can lock people into long-term leases, that would certainly be preferable.
Yeah.
But there are people that come up for weekends or a couple of weeks here and there that would like to do it. And if we have an open space to lease them for 2 weeks out of the month, we could certainly do that.
Okay. I mean, I have no problem going ahead with it. I mean, automatically though, I think next year, the $7,500 should be shown in the revenue line that, and,
In the 2018, we could show that much. You wouldn't budget that for 2017.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly there'd be some extra revenues there.
And when would this construction be done, this fall?
October-ish of next year. It would all depend upon timelines
For it to be completed, you mean?
right. Because we have to go through all the design and process and everything like that.
So you'll, upon approval of this, you'll execute these agreements, and then after that, you can do the design, or can you start the design immediately?
After these agreements are approved, we would begin working with the airport consultant, engineering, to make the project happen.
any other questions or comments? What are council's wishes?
Move to approve.
Second?
All those in favor? 5 in favor, 1 abstention.
Did your plane get damaged?
Number 9, approval of sale of tax-acquired properties. Manager, please.
We recently went out for bid for tax-acquired properties. We received 3 bids on 3 different properties. Map 8, Lot 49B, minimum bid $4,000, bid amount was $4,000 for Murray Blackstone. Map 31, lot 186, bid amount of 140, minimum bid was $1. David Brown is the high bidder. And map 33, lot 7, minimum bid of $1, bid amount of $220. Staff recommends we sell these to the highest bidders.
Motion to sell these to the highest bidder.
Second?
All those in favor? Unanimous. Approval of quitclaim deeds.
So we have 3 deeds tonight that are up for council action and consideration. Paul Johnston, the owner of record of the trailer at map 10, lot 35E1 on, located on the Lombard Road, has brought in his $1,500, which covers all the back taxes, including the 2016 taxes and interest. That amount is what the last bid price was on the trailer when it went out to bid last time. Previously, the council had given Mr. Johnston time to pay this all, but he did not come up with the money in that time frame. Also, at the last meeting, the council gave Jeff Roy and Susan Palmer, owners of record of the land at map 11, lot 28C, located on the Access Highway, until today to pay off the taxes, including 2016 and interest. They have paid that amount. And Larry and Peggy Terrio, owners of record of map 15, lot 11A, had an old payment arrangement with the city to buy back their property, and they've paid back everything. So the council should take action on those 3 deeds.
I'll make a motion that we turn these, 3 deeds back over to the previous owners, or to
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Other business already? Anybody have any other business?
Just want to give a quick update from the Heritage Days this past weekend. It was probably one of our best attended Heritage Days. We had probably about 52 cars and antique tractors down at the car show. I believe the museum there was people in and out of the museum all day long, but the finale at the high school with the band and the fireworks was definitely the best attended one we've had. Weather was great, food was excellent, and the fireworks were spectacular. So hands off to Fire Chief Susi for getting the fireworks set up, and everybody else that volunteered for the great day. This coming weekend, we all know what's coming up, the marathon. This is going to be probably a signature event for the city. We've got over 400 runners, or just about 400, and it's going to be a great event. So if you guys can get out and cheer the runners on, that would be wonderful. Even City Manager Blease is running as well. I'd like to run, but I pulled a hammy the other day, so I'm not running. But it's surely to be a big event for the city, and luckily we've got the course set up for the next 10 years. So this should be a great event for the next several years.
There's actually, 160 that are running the full marathon, roughly?
160 running the full marathon, several running, I forget the numbers exactly, but we have right around 400 athletes, and they're coming from all over the country.
I had marathon on my other business. I'm not like, I've seen the route. Do we totally close those roads? No.
We're gonna have, some of them are gonna be closed off. Bennett Drive's gonna definitely be closed off, due to.
All day or what?
We're gonna reroute from like next to Irving, Main Way, and over behind the rec. We're gonna send the traffic behind the rec center back onto Bennett Drive next to Dock. But the minute we're done, we're gonna reopen them up. So around 7 o'clock is when we're gonna probably close off some of those streets, and then we're gonna have a police escort, or a ranger is gonna be what's gonna be escorting out the runners as they go. But as the marathon goes on, they lap it twice, so there's gonna be big gaps in between, so.
That's why I was asking, are the roads gonna stay, is it gonna stay closed that whole period of time?
No.
So
the
it'll be
red nights-
closed and then opened and then closed
Bennett Drive
again?
will be closed.
The Bennett Drive will be
For
closed.
just that small section in front of the rec
Yep.
center and the area learning center. The rest of the roads are still gonna be open the entire time. There will be some people there directing traffic, stopping traffic
Yeah.
as runners
Yeah.
cross the street,
Yeah.
but those should be minimal
We
interruptions to
got the
traffic.
Red Knights are volunteering, and they're gonna be driving back and forth, just making sure that everybody's safe.
Jesus.
Safe is the biggest concern, and luckily we're running a lot of rural roads, which is good.
Can you get me that little buggy over here from
From the bank?
the credit union?
So this is,
I could run around on that?
this is like an ongoing thing.
This is gonna be an ongoing thing. This is a Boston Marathon qualifier,
Cool.
and we've got the course is certified for the next 10 years. So this is gonna be great.
Councilor McDonough?
So, I ran that marathon Saturday in an hour and a half. It didn't count?
No, unfortunately, that was probably just training, so you're gonna have to do it again.
Because I was awful thirsty near the end. I kept looking for the places where the water was, and I'd go from one to the none, and none of them were open.
No,
Okay, and there were 58 people at the museum this weekend.
Nice,
It's Saturday.
that's a
okay?
good day.
I didn't go up Sunday, yeah, very
It's a
good.
good day. So no, everything was good. There was a lot of things going on throughout the city too this past weekend. So to be able to get that amount of people coming to the car show, and then Saturday night they had the Mayo Bossy, the Marine Corps band up there, at CPAC, and then ours. It was a great weekend to be in Caribou for sure. That's it.
So what's the manager running?
He's running the full marathon.
Really?
I recall a meeting back in April or May where you said you were gonna bike it with me. So,
Is that right?
Yeah.
He's got a flat tire.
Motorbike.
If it was December, he might snowmobile.
Thanks,
it,
Gary.
but-
Yeah, I'd snowmobile it. Go ahead. Good luck. This is the first?
First marathon, yep.
You gonna be to work Monday?
That's the game plan.
And just to let you guys know, the banners that have been ordered
Yeah,
are
those
all
are nice.
installed today. So all 20 banners are put up around town, and they'll be coming down probably Christmas time or before winter sets in, it's just for longevity. If we could keep them up year-round, but
So
longevity
Gary,
won't be
is the
there.
plan for the people that wanna come down to park over at Teague Park there or somewhere and then walk over to the rec center? Is that,
Yes,
Okay.
Teague, middle school, bus garage, learning center, the backside of the rec center.
well, will they be able to get to the learning center though? Cause that'll be in the closed
They'll
group.
have to walk. Well, right off, we're trying to hope for that we're gonna park a lot of the volunteers there. We've got about
Yeah.
approximately 150 volunteers signed up for this
Yeah.
weekend. So they gotta park somewhere.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So, there's nothing wrong with walking a little bit, so. Thank you.
I might argue that point right now. but-
We'll get you the buggy.
Any other new business? No? Can I get a motion to go into executive session then?
Move to go to executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA subsection 4056A, personal matters.
All right, well, thank you everyone for coming,
So I
appreciate
second
it.
that.
All in favor of going to executive session? Okay.